Yellow cake. And there's another contract I'd like you to handle. It's a wet job, but we need to divert Cypher's attention. Check the mission list for the details.
Boss, I have the report on that cargo we stole from Cypher's truck. The PF was transporting two things. The analysis of that malachite has come back first. Naturally, the main compound is copper. There's also a small amount of cobalt. Nothing unusual so far. Southern Zaire is a well-known copper belt. However, in addition to these, we also detected a trace amount of uranium. The content percentage, though, is too low for nuclear development. It most likely came from Shinkalobwe mine. That's where the uranium in that area comes from. The mine's closed, as all the high-purity uranium ore dried up a long time ago, but you could probably still find it there in small quantities. That said, there are plenty of other uranium mines that are in operation, like in Niger, Namibia, South Africa. Why go to an abandoned mine to scrape up whatever's left and ship it out in mass quantities without refining it? They were transporting that yellow cake too, which would suggest they have the technology to refine uranium. Anyway, that about sums it up. Unfortunately, the analysis of that yellow cake is taking a little longer. I'll let you know when it's done.
Please select a landing zone.
C'est stylé la pluie. Toujours le même problème, hein. On va pas changer une équipe qui y aille. C'est fou quand même, hein. Pourquoi ça fait ça?
Mission list updated. Analysis complete. Marker placed.
Be careful down there, boss.
Please select a deployment point. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. The map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Fire!
Analysis complete.
You gotta extract him.
Hands up.
He's coming too.
Analysis complete.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Side ops list updated.
Okay, subject is in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Extraction failed. Clouds approaching. You have arrived at your destination.
He's coming too. Roger that. You gotta extract him.
Outpost captured.
Non, mais...
You destroyed their anti-air radar? It wasn't one of the targets, but that's put a hole in their air surveillance. The chopper will be able to get in close now. You can designate a landing zone near the outpost.
Marker placed. placed.
Juillet, hij is aangevallen. Onze waarschijnlijke aandelen. Ik het onderzoek. Word. Dat is CFD, begrijp. Wat is een aanval? Alliëren op geleerdheid. Uit.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Ça marche, ça marche.
Please select a delivery point.
C'est bizarre que ça marche quand même.
The map has been updated. Please select a deployment point. Please select a deployment point.
Quiet. Moet ik move? Alsjeblieft. Speak. Moet ik doen? Where are your friends?
The map has been updated. Please select a deployment point.
Don't move.
Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Marker
Ah, bah,
placed.
tout simplement. Merci, Juillet.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Analysis complete. Please select a deployment point. The map has been updated.
was off base during the attack 9 years ago. Bring him home, boss.
Tu peux pas le viser sérieusement? T'as de la vision sur le gars quand même.
Quiet.
Et vise-le. Allez. Putain.
Development complete. Development complete.
Genre tu pourrais pas m'aider un petit peu, non?
Please select supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
Non, c'est pas lui quand même. C'est lui? C'est possible.
Caution, rain approaching.
Mais non, il est pas là.
Analysis complete. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a deployment. Please select a deployment route. Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated.
Tu me l'ailles? Tu me l'ailles? Ah, il faut vraiment le prendre comme ça. Ok, très bien.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
It's you, boss. Where are your friends? It's you, boss. It's you, boss. Allow me to serve on your...
One of the guys out on a mission at the time. He's fallen a long way from the glory days. But will he come back to us? Bring him home, boss.
Completed.
You gotta extract him.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a deployment point. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Ah merde! Oh, bon, à 16h j'arrête là. 17h j'arrête là. J'ai dit 1h30. J'aurais dû me dépêcher. 16h30, c'est pas ça. Ok là. Ouais, 16h30. 16h30. 16h30 à la limite. Mais... Merde. Entre 16h et 16h30.
Has infiltrated and the map has been updated.
Ça fait loin quand même, hein?
Please select a drop point. Supplies requested. Vehicle drop complete. Clouds approaching.
Je suis un fou dangereux moi. Hein. Allez. Regarde pourquoi j'ai pris un tank. Je sais pas. Il y avait un camion juste là. Aïe 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 aïe.
keep you waiting. We finally finished analyzing that yellow cake Cypher was moving. There was nothing unusual about the composition of the yellow cake itself. Most of it was oxidized uranium, with the rest being impurities, various metals as well as traces of organic matter. What's interesting is the composition of these impurities. When we checked them against the impurities found in the copper ore, it was clear the yellow cake didn't come from Shinkolobwe, meaning they went to the trouble of mining two sources of uranium, then transported them together in different states. Another thing, we detected a very thin layer of highly enriched uranium in the middle of the yellow cake. Now that is very interesting. It may not be a lot, but it points to the existence of uranium enriching technology. After all, yellow cake can't naturally produce highly enriched uranium. If they could mass produce this, they'd be just one step away from a gun barrel type nuclear bomb. But uranium enrichment requires advanced technology and a large-scale facility. If that kind of place existed in Zaire, the Soviet Union wouldn't sit idly by. And there's another question. Where were they transporting the yellow cake and malachite uranium? The first place that comes to mind is South Africa. The government was supposed to have abandoned nuclear weapons development after caving to international pressure. But rumors persist that it's continued in secret. Plus, CRS were escorting the truck, and they're based out of South Africa. And then South Africa does have an abandoned test site. If Cypher's involved with nuclear development in South Africa. But how would that fit with their weapon to surpass Metal Gear? We need more information.
Shinkolobwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
The U.S. bought a lot of uranium from Shinkolobwe mine during World War II for the Manhattan
Boss,
Project.
get down.
Even sent a squad
The enemy sniper.
to reopen.
Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
The world's first nuclear test was a success. Shinkolobwe uranium might have been used
That's the target.
in Nagasaki bombs too. Just hearing its name is like seeing all the phantoms of the war rise up to haunt us. But all the uranium's dried up, and the mine's been closed for years.
So someone reopened it.
Right. Zero-risk security seized control of the area and were forcing locals to work in it. And the Zairean government was getting a slice of what they took in exchange for looking the other way. Mobutu has to finance his tastes somehow. He'll gladly sell the rights to some old mine. The question is, why would zero-risk security do this kind of thing?
Or rather, why were their employers, Cypher, interested in an abandoned mine? They'd be getting trace amounts of uranium, and to the naked eye it appears to be ordinary malachite, meaning security would be lax. Not a very efficient way of obtaining it, but easier to move.
But how would they enrich it at its destination?
Did the yellow cake really have a layer of highly enriched uranium in it?
Having trouble believing it.
No. If they say it's real, then it's real. In which case, they might have some enrichment method that we don't know about.
And this was to test it out.
It's possible. And that would mean it's almost complete.
Analysis complete.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
You have arrived at your destination. Sun will rise momentarily.
ça là. À la fin quoi. Après avoir tout fait, hop, c'est fini. On va y aller en mode rebelle, on a rien à faire. Attends, tu vois pas que ça a raté quand même. Ça a raté là? Ça a raté là.
Please select a landing zone. Support helicopter requested.
That's the target.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been developed complete.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
This is Pequod. Arriving shortly at LZ. Prioritizing elimination of enemy threats. Mayday! Mayday! Cannot maintain altitude! Controls non-responsive!
Shot down the chopper. Already a backup chopper. Call it from your iDroid.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
You gotta extract him. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Net niet beweeg nie. Ek sal jou nou afdra.
Roger that.
Please select a strike point. Please select a land support helicopter
Roger.
requested.
You gotta extract him.
Shinkolokwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while. The U.S. bought a lot of uranium from Shinkolokwe mine during World War II for the Manhattan Project. They even sent a squad from the Army Corps of Engineers to reopen the mine after it was flooded. That's how good its uranium must have been. With that, the world's first nuclear test was a success.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs, too. Hearing its name is like seeing all the phantoms of the war rise up to haunt us. But all the uranium's dried up, and the mine's been closed for years.
So someone reopened it.
Right. Zero-risk security seized control of the area and were forcing locals to work in it. And the Zairean government was getting a slice of what they took in exchange for looking the other way. Mobutu has to finance his tastes somehow. He'll gladly sell the rights to some old mine. The question is, why would zero-risk security do this kind of thing?
Or rather, why were their employers, Cypher, interested in an abandoned mine? They'd be getting trace amounts of uranium, and to the naked eye it appears to be ordinary malachite. Meaning security would be lax. Not a very efficient way of obtaining it, but easy to move.
But how would they enrich it at its destination?
Did the yellow cake really have a layer of highly enriched uranium in it?
Having trouble believing it.
No. If they say it's real, then it's real. In which case, they might have some enrichment method that we don't know about.
And this was to test it out.
It's possible. And that would mean it's almost complete.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Good. You captured it alive.
C'est tout?
Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please specify a project. Please select a mission. Please select a mission. Please select a landing zone. Please select a deployment point. Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated.
C'est pas déjà que je dois faire là, je ne sais plus. Extrayer le soldat hautement qualifié.
Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated.
Bon, je sais déjà qui c'est.
The map has been updated.
You gotta extract him.
Completed.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Base. Development project has been added. Clouds approaching. Extraction failed. Extraction failed.
Ja.
Extraction arrived
Personne
at
n'a
the
vu.
motorbase.
Good. You captured it alive.
Shinkolobwe. There's a name I haven't heard in a while.
The U.S. bought a lot of uranium from Shinkolobwe mine during World War II for the Manhattan Project. They even sent a squad from the Army Corps of Engineers to reopen the mine after it was flooded. That's how good its uranium must have been. With that, the world's first nuclear test was a success. Shinkolobwe uranium might have been used in the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs too. Just hearing its name is like seeing all the phantoms of the war rise up to haunt us. But all the uranium's dried up, and the mine's been closed for years.
So someone reopened it.
Right. Zero-risk security seized control of the area and were forcing locals to work in it. And the Zairean government was getting a slice of what they took in exchange for looking the other way. Mobutu has to finance his tastes somehow.
Mobutu.
He'll gladly sell the rights to some old mine. The question is, why would zero-risk security do this kind of thing?
Or rather, why were their employers, Cypher, interested in an abandoned mine? They'd be getting trace amounts of uranium, and to the naked eye it appears to be ordinary malachite, meaning security would be lax. Not a very efficient way of obtaining it, but easier to move.
But how would they enrich it at its destination?
Did the yellow cake really have a layer of highly enriched uranium in it?
Having trouble believing it?
No. If they say it's real, then it's real. In which case, they might have some enrichment method that we don't know about.
And this was to test it out.
It's possible. And that would mean it's almost complete.
Development project has been added. Please specify a project. Please select a heading to Afghanistan.
Là j'arrive en plein milieu dans la zone quoi. Je comprends pas le bail. C'est la chance.
Extraction failed.
Dommage.
I'm sorry, boss, but the extraction failed. The support unit just isn't skilled enough. If you want to increase the success rate of Fulton extractions in bad weather, you need to improve the support unit.
Weather will clear shortly. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Please select a mission. landing zone.
Roger.
Enemy presence detected.
That's the target.
Has been updated.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. There's an obstruction at the LZ preventing me from landing. Request immediate removal. This is B-Quad. There's an obstruction at the LZ preventing me from landing. Request immediate removal.
Bon voyage.
This is B-Quad. There's an obstruction at the LZ preventing me from landing. Request immediate removal.
Side op. Side op list updated.
Okay, subject is in.
Extraction arrived at mother base. Enemy presence detected. Map has been updated.
Gaining altitude.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Departing.
Good. You captured it alive.
Side ops list updated.
Zero Risk Security aren't as hardcore a military outfit compared to the other two PFs in this region. The company sends operators to conflict regions around the world, not just Africa. They have decades of combined experience. They're also based out of South Africa. Their headquarters is in Johannesburg. A lot of their work involves corporate security for South African companies, but a good number of their operators are retired South African military. So don't mistake them for a bunch of security guards.
Deploying.
Ah, ils ont alerté quand même.
Please select a deployment point. Buddy has infiltrated and the map has been updated. Analysis complete. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Boss, one of our staff has been captured by the enemy. He was on the staff at Mother Base 9 years back. Get our men out of there, boss. Say he's a critical VIP. A massive understatement.
Kaçma.
The map has been updated.
Копейте, слышишь? И закончили поиски. Никто не обнаружен. Прием! Это КП, понял. Не расслабляйтесь. Они еще могут быть рядом. Конец связи.
Snack.
Snake. What took you so long?
We'll talk, but not here.
Le truc dommage c'est qu'il est déjà dans ma base, mais bon, c'est pas grave. Rendez-vous.
Please select support helicopter requested.
Cover me!
You gotta extract him. This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ. This is B-Quad. Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Мертвец, что случилось? Ответьте, Мертвец.
Support helicopter has arrived.
Это КП, понял. Занять оборонную позицию и найти снайпера. Конец связи. КП, это П-2. Вижу вражеского снайпера. Жду указаний.
Extraction arrived at Mother
Это
Base.
КП, понял. Открыть подавляющий минометный огонь по противнику. Конец
Cover fire!
Analysis complete.
Okay, the subject is in.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
Gaining altitude. Departing.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a landing zone. Deploying.
Rogue Coyote operates mainly out of Africa these days. Of the three PFs, they're the smallest. However, they scooped up most of the Rhodesian SAS after the country collapsed 4 years ago. Picture their entire organization as one big special forces unit. With Rhodesia a British colony, the Rhodesian SAS had its origins in 22 SAS C Squadron. They started out as a group known as the Southern Rhodesia Volunteers. But in 51 they were incorporated into 22 SAS as members of the British Commonwealth and deployed to fight guerrillas in the Malayan emergency. Even now, 22 SAS keeps the C Squadron designation empty in recognition of their service. In a way, you could say the SAS almost makes up the core of Rogue Coyote. Later on, they were bolstered by other talent, including former Cella Scouts and 32 Battalion. These guys are direct descendants of the best special forces in the world. They won't go down without a fight. Don't get careless. Kungenga Mine. A civil war's been going on in that region for the last 20 years. It's being fought by what are now two ethnic groups, the Buta and the Mbele. Originally, you could barely tell them apart, but the reason for the current armed conflict goes back to World War I. After the war, their land was colonized by a European power, and it decided to give local control to the Buta. That split the two groups into rulers and subjects, laying the foundations for an inevitable civil war. The friction between them remained even after they won independence from Europe. The Buta are holding on to power to this day, and the Mbele rebels continue to fight back. The conflict is funded by locally mined gold, rare metals, diamonds. They've used the money from those to arm themselves, buy oil, and even hire PFs. The Buta administration owns the mining rights to Kungenga Mine. But most of the laborers are Mbele, who they've taken prisoner. The product they've gouged out of their land is bought up by cheap Western corporations. And the civil war is fueled by the profits. That's how it goes. One country's people is split apart by another country. Then the two groups tear up their own land for money in order to fight each other. Now this civil war started by a foreign power is the norm, and it's sucking up all the country's resources. PFs are just the same. They follow the money, taking war with them wherever they go. That goes for us too. It's an endless river of bloody retaliation, and we're standing downstream. Should we make a stand and staunch the flow? Or wade in amongst the corpses and make a bigger splash than the rest? We'll follow your lead, boss.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Coyote operates mainly out of Africa these days. Of the three PFs, they're the smallest. However, we scooped up most of the Rhodesian SAS after the country collapsed 4 years ago. Picture their entire organization as one big special forces unit. With Rhodesia a British colony, the Rhodesian SAS had its origins in 22 SAS Sea Squadron. They started out as a group known as the Southern Rhodesia Volunteers. But in '51 they were incorporated into 22 SAS as members of the British Commonwealth and deployed to fight guerrillas in
When
the
you want to begin a mission, open your iDroid and select it from the mission list. I sent a list of selectable missions to your iDroid. They're all jobs that only you can handle.
People say the SAS almost makes up the core of Rogue Coyote. Later on, they were bolstered by other talent, including former Cella Scouts and 32 Battalion. These guys are direct descendants of the best special forces in the world. They won't go down without a fight. Don't get careless. Kungengamine. The civil war's been going on in that region for the last 20 years. It's being fought by what are now two ethnic groups, the Buta and the Mbele. Originally, you could barely tell them apart, but the reason for the current armed conflict goes back to World War I. After the war, their land was colonized by a European power, and it decided...
Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Please select a mission.
There are 6
Je
targets.
fais ça et après j'arrête.
They're soldiers. The contract is to kill them all. They used to be with a platoon of Mbele rebels, but then the Buta authorities captured them. There are 2 locations, the Bumpheavy Plantation and the Kungenga Mine. The client is none other than the general they served under. He wants them dead to keep them from talking. A commander murdering his former men. That's what this boils down to.
Je fais cette mission là. Et après, on arrête et on prendra soit dans la semaine si j'ai envie, ou samedi prochain.
Mission accepted.
Mission accepted.
Heading to Central Africa.
On va quand même se mettre en tenue, hein, parce que la tenue de... Merde.
Deploying.
There are 6 targets. Our contract is to kill them all. And the client is the general they served under. He wants them dead to keep them from talking. Check your VI and your iDroid for more information.
Embedded Squad.
The target targets are 6 former members of an Valley rebel platoon. That's one of them. He was the platoon leader. Then he turned his back on the others and joined up with the local PF. Now he's part of the security detail at the Bomb Heavy plantation. He's not so different from the general. They get plenty worked up for rebellion and revenge, but don't give a damn about their own men.
The map has been updated. Please select a deployment point.
That's Bomb Heavy plantation. The targets are mixed in with the soldiers in that base. Use the VI to identify them.
Analysis complete.
That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from its machine gun can cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss.
Enemy presence detected.
Where are
The
your
map
friends?
has been updated. The map has been updated. The map has been updated. Analysis complete. Clouds approaching. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. Analysis complete. You have arrived at your destination. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Our contract is to eliminate the target.
Snake, are you okay? Snake!
The 6 targets are at Bampevi Plantation and Kumagenga Mine. Locate them, and then eliminate them.
Enemy
That's Bampevi Plantation. The targets are mixed in with the soldiers in that base. Use the VI to identify them.
Talk. Get down. Where are the others?
The map has been updated.
Bruce from his machine gun can cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss.
Clouds approaching.
On va essayer de le faire proprement, hein. Si possible.
The 6 targets are at Bampevi Plantation and Kumagenga Mine. Locate them, and then eliminate them. That's Bampevi Plantation. The targets are mixed in with the soldiers in that base. Use the VI to identify them.
Ah mais merde.
The 6 targets are at Bampevi Plantation and Kumagenga Mine. Locate them, and then eliminate them. That's Bampevi Plantation. Targets are mixed in with the soldiers in that base. Use the VI to identify them.
On my command.
updated.
Qu'est-ce qu'il a pris exactement là, je ne sais pas.
Clouds
That's
approaching.
an enemy gunship. A single burst from its machine gun could cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss.
You have arrived at your destination.
Alle Skaders, das ist hier. Bestel maar steeds aan de gas. Ik zoals een probleem met die krachtbom. Je coördinaten gaan kijken naar die krachtstelsel.
Development project has been added.
Weg om die vijand te verdrijven. Uit!
Boss, get down. That's an enemy gunship. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
The map has been updated.
Is that the target?
Please select a deployment point.
Non, il faut que je fasse plus proprement là, c'est n'importe quoi.
The 6 targets are at Heavy Plantation and Gunginga Mine. Locate them, and then eliminate them.
Enemy
That's from Heavy Plantation.
The map
The targets are mixed in with the soldiers in that base. Use the VI to identify them.
Please select a deployment point. Has infiltrated under
Is that the target?
Where are your friends?
What are you planning on doing, boss?
clouds.
Putting the target to sleep doesn't count as eliminating them. Neither does knocking... That's an enemy gunship. A single burst from its machine gun can cut a man in half. Tread carefully, boss. extracting the target. Our contract was to kill the target, but I'll go with your decision. 5 targets remaining. Head for the Kurgenga mine.
Mission info has been updated. Extraction arrived at Morbase.
He's coming too. Roger that.
Extraction arrived at Morbase. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Marker placed.
You've reached the mine. 5 targets are being held captive at that outpost. The VI on your iDroid will show you where they are.
The map has been updated. Development project has been added. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been analysis complete. detected. The map has been updated. Marker placed. Marker removed.
Boss, get down. The enemy sniper. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies.
Has been updated. Analysis complete. Analysis complete.
Speak. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. He's coming too. Roger that. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Marker removed. Extraction arrived at Mother Base. Analysis complete.
That's African peach. The shape of his petals gives it the nickname the pincushion. It's used in local traditional medicine as a pain reliever and tranquilizer.
Spit it out. Where are your friends?
The map has been updated. Extraction failed.
He's coming too. Roger that. We gotta extract him.
Marker placed. Bingo. You know what to do. Their lives for a fistful of diamonds, huh? And what happens after that? They can't go home. They've only got two options. Heaven or hell.
No, there's another.
got the recording. Objective accomplished.
Let's go.
We'll bring him back to Mother Base. Now, for the RV. There's some high ground downriver. I'll have the chopper set down there. Lead the kids to safety. Listen, the kids don't get hurt. No matter what, you bring him back alive. Exit the cave and turn left, then pass through the swamp and follow the river downstream. Doesn't look like he can walk.
Arrived at
You're still gonna help him.
Mission info has been updated. The map has been updated.
Boss, if even one of those kids die, the mission's a failure. Be careful. You're those kids' only support out there. You need to give them orders. They won't hear you if you're too far away from them. Subject on board. Leave the rest to us. They won't hear you if you're too far away from them.
Fire at will.
Analysis complete.
Hey!
He's coming too. Roger that.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Analysis
They
complete.
won't hear you if you're too far away from them.
Analysis complete. The map has been analysis complete.
watch your back.
Updated.
Enemy gunship. Stay low and crawl along the ground. That should enable you to sneak past enemies. You gotta extract him.
Caution, radar approaching. Enemy presence detected. Alert has been updated.
Boss, come in. Boss? Boss!
Get the targets to the RV. Doesn't look like he can walk. You still gonna help him? Boss, if even one of those kids die, the mission's a failure. Be careful.
Please select a drop point. Supplies requested. Supply drop complete.
You're those kids' only support out there. You need to give them orders. Lead them to the objective area. But they won't hear you if you're too far away from them. Keep that in mind. They won't hear you if you're too far away from them.
Target's dead. Mission failed.
Get the targets to the RV.
Please select a drop point. Supplies requested.
Doesn't look like he can walk. You still gonna help him?
Supply drop complete.
Boss, if even one of those kids die, the mission's a failure. Be careful. You're those kids' only support out there. You need to give them orders. Lead them to the objective area. But they won't hear you if you're too far away from them. Keep that in mind.
Go.
GPS stelt aan 9. Bedreiging gewaar. Geopgereerdheid. Oor. CP, begrijp. Hij kreeg van hier iets vandaag. Uit.
Extraction arrived at Mother Base.
They won't hear you if you're too far away from them.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Hands up.
C'était un geste très sympathique ce que je viens de faire.
Hands up.
Zitten de Juillet. Lijken ze bij ons stoppen. CP, begrijp. We gaan het zo toch. Zo gauw als mogelijk. Uit.
Looks like they found out the kids escaped. The enemy's gonna tighten security. They'll be coming after you. Watch your back.
Detected. The map has been updated.
Subject on board. Leave the rest to us.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Boss, get down. That's an enemy gunship. The enemy spotted the target. Take care of him. The enemy spotted the target. Take care of him.
Mission failed.
Comment je suis censé faire?
Get the targets to the RV.
À parcourir comme un gros taré.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
They won't hear you if you're too far away from them.
Ah, c'est pas vrai.
Looks like they found out the kids escaped. The enemy's gonna tighten security. They'll be coming after you.
Ah, là,
So watch
c'est
your
bon.
back.
Normalement c'est bon. À part s'ils n'ont pas avancé.
The chopper will be arriving any minute. Hurry to the RV. They're on your back. Hold them off.
Enemy presence.
Reinforcements from the south. They're moving to surround you. Careful, extract children.
Qu'est-ce qu'ils foutent ces enfants là? Ouais, la mission est perdue.
Caution. Rain approaching.
Shot down the chopper.
Pourquoi ils ont pas avancé, je vous abrutis là?
Calling from your iDroid.
Putain, je te jure quoi.
Boss, the target's dead. Mission failed.
C'est ouf. T'as une demi-heure en trop là. Ça commence à me casser les couilles.
Get the targets to the RV.
Et maintenant tu vous bougez le cul. Vous arrêtez pas de courir, putain.
You gotta extract him.
Accélérez là! Allez, vas-y. Accélérez là! Putain, ils vont tellement lentement!
He's coming too. Roger that. Looks like they found out the kids escaped. The enemy's gonna tighten security. They'll be coming after you. Watch your back.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated. Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
They won't hear you if you're too far away from them.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Allez, bouillez le lion, là. Et allez, qu'est-ce qui branle? Allez, on se bouge le cul, on se bouge le cul.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Allez, on avance.
Caution, rain approaching.
The
Support
chopper will be
helicopter.
arriving any minute. Hurry to the RV.
Come on.
Putain, la lenteur.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Non mais c'est quoi ces enfants là?
This is B-Quad.
C'est de ma gueule?
Have arrived at LZ. We'll stand by.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Y'a un moment faut se bouger le cul, non?
Support helicopter has arrived.
Allez, on se bouge le gros cul là. Allez les gros culs.
Enemy presence
Allez, on avance.
detected. The map has
On
been
fait un pas de balance puis on se barre. Merci.
Target extracted. Put the target on the chopper.
Ouais, vous pouvez même pas monter tout seul quoi. Y'a un moment où faut arrêter devant le mini McDo.
Target extracted.
À mon avis ça va mal se passer.
Target extracted. Anyone else?
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Good. That's the target extracted.
B. S, mais c'était fou. S avec si, recommencement, etc. N'importe quoi. Grenade ricochet, mais c'est quoi c'est? Ah, elle tire dans les grenades.
What you thinking, boss?
I'm thinking that he's tougher than he looks. A little training, he'll make himself useful.
Never like kids. Especially ones with guns.
See, kid's a natural.
No. He's no natural. Far from it. You probably noticed on the way in, we've expanded housing. They'll have their own quarters, separate from ours. Won't be counted as staff.
So what, we're running a daycare now?
They'll learn how to read and write. Do basic jobs.
A chance at a real life. Just not from behind a gun.
Being behind a gun's what we do, boss. There's no room for angels in our heaven.
Par contre, une petite douche, ça serait pas mal, non?
Please select a mission. Please select a delivery point.
Oh, Snake! What is it, Snake? Remember Professor Galvez on his instrument during Peace Day? Woo-wee-oo. Such a funny sound for a musical instrument. He said the Soviets invented it. Everyone sure seemed impressed. Music has no borders. The professor taught me that. Where's Professor Galvez anyway? I'm sorry, Snake. My head hurts. Could you let me rest? There is going to be a kind of festival held on Mother Base. They are calling it Peace Day. Snake and his men may be without a nation, but they are still an army, and that means sometimes they have to fight the bad guys. Of course, they should not fight at all. It is obvious to me that any problem can be solved with reasonable discussion. Maybe Snake and the others think so too, because the idea is to set aside war for one day a year and relax in peace. I do not know how it came about, but apparently Snake and Miller got the idea while they were talking, and everyone on Mother Base went along with it. To think that deep down they all share a love of peace, that makes me happy. But never mind that. Somehow I have ended up singing on stage. Miller was all, "Come on, both our names mean peace. It will be great." Why does that mean we have to be in a band? Then he roped Professor Galvez in too, saying, "Hey, Galvez comes from peace too. We are the perfect act." I am not sure Miller really understands the origins of the name Galvez. But then again, you always have to take Miller's talk with a grain of salt. What I cannot believe is he went and told everyone we'd be performing together without even asking my opinion. Now everyone thinks it has all been decided. I like to sing, but I have never had to perform in front of a crowd. I do not think I'm up to this. But everyone seems to be looking forward to it. I guess I would hate to let them down. And anything is better than letting Miller sing. Oh, that was mean. Miller said he was going to write a song for us. I wonder what it will be like. It is funny. The more nervous I get, the more I find myself looking forward to it.